Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Hold up.
On a Tuesday, a lot to get to you here today. I'm Austin Norman. He's Eric Strickland with you as we are every weekday from 2 to 4 Central right here on the block. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com, or Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter live streams. Tap in there, drop us a line. Let us know you're listening. Let us know where you're listening from. Any thoughts you have, drop them there or on the Starter Haven text line, 402-464-5685. Also, if you're a fan of On the Block or you're a fan of good food, go to Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, 27th and Pine Lake here in Lincoln. Tell them that we sent you.
Oh, yeah. Let them know. I ate just huge just now, so I won't be going today. But I get back on Friday. I'm going to be going out to the Big Ten, rooting on the Huskers, and giving an opportunity to see them in a different environment, neutral environment, and looking forward to it. Shootout tomorrow, so won't be here to start the state games, but I'll be towards the tail end, and when I'm down in Lincoln, that's where I like to go.
Yes, sir. So if you're stopping by into town for the state basketball tournaments, make sure you hit up Mary Ellen's before you get out there. And you'll be on the call Friday, Saturday, potentially?
Yeah, if not late Friday, then definitely Saturday.
Those are championship games. Championship Saturday.
Yeah.
A little bit of breaking news, NFL news. Lamar Jackson, non-exclusive tag. He's allowed to negotiate with other teams, but Baltimore has the right to match the deal. If they choose not to, I believe they get 2 first-round picks, or 1. They get a first-round pick, at least.
Okay.
Interesting.
Thank you, Rico.
Thank you, Rico.
So that's essentially the NBA equivalent of a restricted free agent.
Basically.
Where you go, you can negotiate with anyone, but your first team gets a chance to match.
Yeah. Yeah, it's still debatable as to where that ends up being. I mean, we definitely know it's not the Saints because Derek Carr solidified that one. But I could see it being a Carolina, potentially Atlanta, maybe. I think
Washington.
I think Atlanta probably fits the most. I don't know if Bieniemy, with what Bieniemy's trying to do after having a Mahomes type, but if he doesn't feel that he can get something this year, who else out there is better? If you can't get Aaron Rodgers or you can't get, somebody on the level, then where do you go? And we're going to talk a little bit about that too.
Let's just do that now. Let's do that now. Jump right into it. We got plenty of Nebraska basketball talk coming up next segment, but since we got the breaking news dropped on us, Lamar Jackson, we mentioned those fits for him. I wouldn't hate the Colts taking a look at him, probably out of their price range, but again, proven commodity. Would not mind Lamar Jackson in Indianapolis, but barring that, go draft a quarterback. You mentioned that quarterback news. We also have until, I believe, the start of old school. So by the end of the show, Daniel Jones and the Giants have until then to agree to terms to a new contract or to an extension. And if it doesn't happen by then, the Giants will franchise tag them. Which of those guys do you think ends up signing for more money, Lamar Jackson or Daniel Jones?
I gotta say that Lamar Jackson, being a former MVP, being someone that has been established, obviously his style is something to be worried about, scary.
Daniel Jones plays similarly, though.
But that's the thing, exactly. And I just think that Daniel Jones, to me, is, and I know somebody's gonna text in on this. He kind of reminds me of like a young Kirk Cousins. And I don't know, I just a lot of the up and downs, a lot of the inconsistencies, a lot of, shows up sometimes, looks really great sometimes, like he's about to break through and break out, and then all of a sudden it's kind of like, some lacklusterness in it. And I think Lamar is he's spectacular. He's somebody you got to scheme for. I still like him to be able to just kind of tone it down as he's getting older and not have to take, but he's so doggone dynamic. I mean, that's like telling Michael Vick to just don't run no more. Michael Vick still, the one thing that was different about him is he still had a cannon.
Lefty cannon.
You know what I mean? He still can fire that thing on a rope, and be on target. So that's the difference. I'd like to just see Lamar just be able to kind of work the pocket a little bit more and just find ways to dink and dump and move and use the abilities as an advantage, but not overuse them to where we're risking getting hurt.
Right. Even like Jalen Hurts, who I think those guys can play similarly. Lamar has a better arm than Jalen Hurts does, but again, pass from the pocket, make those quick decisions, and then you can be used as a weapon in the run game, but it's not the basis of an offense.
Yeah.
Like it was in college for Lamar Jackson, who put up crazy rushing numbers. I was right the first time too. It is until 3:00. So the start of hour 2, we will know whether or not the Giants and Daniel Jones have agreed to a new contract. There's no way Lamar Jackson should make less than Daniel Jones, but here's something I don't know if we've talked about enough. Lamar Jackson's still representing himself. Doesn't have an agent doing this for him.
Yeah. That's tough. I think it's tough because there's so many different ways and angles and approaches, and it's not just so cut and dry of getting to a number for the NFL. And that's why I think, you want somebody that specializes in that knows, how to maneuver and mask and cover and figure out ways to make it work for them and you. And that's a lot.
And again, it goes both ways, because if you have an agent and if you're Lamar Jackson, you're not in those meetings, then you're kind of playing a game of telephone. This is what this person's saying. This is what the other side is saying. But on the other hand, if you're representing yourself, you haven't done it as much as an agent has. You maybe don't know all the lingo or the best way to approach it. So sometimes having that filter of an agent, if Lamar Jackson was going to say something he shouldn't have said, having an agent there, to filter it, to send the right message to the team, and vice versa. The team says something, the agent knows what they are saying, what they're trying to say, can put that through his agent filter and give Lamar Jackson really what the down low is. So I just hope for Lamar Jackson, given how talented and dynamic he is, he gets his money's worth, but doesn't get taken advantage of in those negotiations because, again, dynamic player. Most teams in the league would be better off with Lamar Jackson at quarterback than what they currently have. He needs to sign somewhere the league needs to see him playing and happy and not worried about this. I'd just be curious to see where Baltimore goes from there. The other quarterback domino that fell was Geno Smith. 3 years, $105 million. It'll be a $25 million a year guaranteed, I believe. Very similar to Derek Carr. Do you like Geno back to Seattle, or do you like Derek Carr to New Orleans more?
Dang. Listen, the reason I would say to Seattle, because Kenneth Walker is a solidified, wonderful running back, and they've got great backups there. They won't be able to keep them long. But you've got DK Metcalf.
Lockett,
and then there's one. Oh, and then you got, Kay Johnson's over there.
Right.
No, you've got dudes over there, man. I think the Saints have dudes, but I still think that they're elderly dudes. And then you still don't know what you're going to get with Kamara. I think Kamara
and the offensive situation last year wasn't good. Maybe it's talent, but maybe it's coaching.
Yeah. Well, see, but you just don't know. You don't, I mean, you're really kind of going into that one blind. You don't know what's going to happen with the Vegas situation with Kamara. You don't know what, if Thomas is going to be full strength, full giving you everything he's got. He seems to be on the tail end of the work for him. I'm trying to think of somebody that he reminds me of that was so dynamic. Okay. And I'm trying not to make this similar, but I would say he reminds me of like Dez Bryant. So Dez, but not size-wise, obviously there's a size difference, but Dez was so dominant and dynamic. Didn't have the killer breakaway speed.
We do got to step aside for the alert test. We'll continue this after the break, and we'll also get into some Husker basketball at the Big Ten tournament.
The following is a test of the emergency alert system.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-665-4650 or online at ambitionelectric.com.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health-conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is heat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription to receive meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Tailored Landscapes is actively preparing for spring. Things like getting new tree orders, getting equipment ready, and training staff to serve you the best we can. If you haven't already planned, now is the perfect time to figure out a maintenance plan for your yard. We're on the brink of spring cleanups for all of our existing customers and have limited spots left. We trim trees and shrubs when needed and only mulch proper amounts. Give us a call today at 402-432-2572 to set up a meeting with one of our designers and get ready for Tailored Life's grand opening in Bennett.
Hi, it's Joel Norman, the voice of your Lincoln Stars hockey team. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket every Tuesday night from 8 to 9 p.m. to hear the latest on the Stars with myself, head coach Rocky Russo, and special player guests.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Hey guys, Nick Sadert here, and I want to tell you about my friends at Spine and Sports Chiropractic. I experienced a herniated disc in my lower back a few years ago, and thanks to the folks at Spine and Sports, I got back to feeling 100%. At Spine and Sports, they use the active release technique, which involves the soft tissue and can alleviate headaches, shoulder pain, plantar fasciitis, and more. What I like most about the ART method is that your doctor will construct a plan that fits your needs because the technique is not a cookie cutter approach. Allow Spine and Sports Chiropractic to help you feel better. Set up your appointment today by giving them a call at 402-261-6841.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back here on the block, talking NFL quarterback. Strick, you had a thought before we had to go to break. Pick up on that.
Yeah, and I was just trying to think of a guy that had a tremendous career, was really tough, hard to stop, and then just kind of towards the tail end, just kind of, was okay, just couldn't get the same separation. Kind of was just playing still, but didn't seem to play with the same type of passion. And that was like Des Bryant and how dang, I had the thought. No, I just lost it. The wide receiver, not Evans, over in the Saints.
Oh, Michael Thomas.
Yeah. And so that's what he that's what you're kind of working with. I mean, I don't obviously you got not Smith and Jigba.
You got Olave.
You got Olave there, young, up and coming. But is he ready to break out and be a number one? I don't know yet. It's possible. He could have a breakout, but you don't have the timing. You still don't have that going for you. So I think Geno has that with the teams that he's worked with. The reason also, when you talk about when I threw in Cade Johnson, they played together on the practice squad together. Right. So he understands who he is and trusts him. But even more than that, you remember there's certain type of relationships that are established in certain they don't seem like they seem like they come out of nowhere. Like, for example, Julian Edelman and Tom Brady. Like, you're like, wait, how did this happen? Like, where did this come from? But he seemingly, it was understood that in the off seasons, he would just really go be around him, hang with him, and really found out and gained the trust and became a freaking Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
Right.
Super Bowl MVP.
Sometimes that makes a difference. Those type of connections and relationships. I think Geno just has it a little bit more with the crew he has than Derek Carr coming in.
Understandable. On the text line, then, Travis asks, with the Lamar news, what's the negative or the penalty for using the non-exclusive tag with the ability to match or receive 2 first-round picks in return? What's the downside?
Austin, 1, 2, 3, tag you.
Here's the downside, Travis. Number one, 2 first-round picks is fine. Lamar Jackson's worth more than 2 first-round picks. If you're going to trade Lamar Jackson, you're getting more than 2 first-round picks for it. So if the other team signs him, you're losing him at a discount. And oh, by the way, you just lost Lamar Jackson. That's the problem. That's the downside, is that he's a really good football player. And you don't have a clear answer at quarterback. Look what Tyler Huntley did at the end of last season. I don't care that he was a Pro Bowler. He did not have Pro Bowl numbers. You don't have anything else at quarterback behind Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
It's a problem to lose good players. I think we can all agree on that.
And there's nobody really out there.
Right.
I mean, then you're going to be tracking down your Jimmy G's and you still don't know what's going on with that. Maybe your Brock Purdy's, you don't know how his surgery is going to, and then you've got other guys out there, your Baker Mayfield's where, I mean, so this is what you're so you're 2 years at a loss at that point, because then you've got to hope that the draft comes up again, right, Austin? So it can take you on a snowball effect.
Right. But yeah, Travis, that's the thing, that yes, they do have the ability to match, but what if some other team offers a higher number than you're willing to go to? I mean, the franchise tag is what, 40 million, 45 million, I think. The non-exclusives 32, 35 million, somewhere in that ballpark. If a team gives Lamar Jackson north of $45 million, you would have been better off tagging him to begin with and doing that, because clearly you don't want to, you're not sold on paying him $45 million on the franchise tag. So anything, 40 is probably the max of what they want to do, shave a little bit off the top. If some team offers him 42.5 million, yeah, you have the chance to match it. But at that point, why not just exclusive tag him, get him for your own, instead of get less back for him? Here's the other part of this. If you match it, then he comes to your team, right? In the NBA, if the original team matches what someone else does, that player goes to the original team, correct? If Lamar Jackson's not happy about how negotiations went, if Lamar Jackson, fits in with what other quarterbacks have done and sulks a little bit, doesn't bring a good attitude, okay, you have him back.
Type of attitude.
Right. Okay, you have him back. He's talented and that's good. But if he's not locked in, he's not engaged, he's pissed off at the franchise.
Showing up with your phone in your pocket.
Right. Again, that's not great.
That's not good.
Either you pay him what he wants, or you pay him something that's fair, or you're paying him less and he's either on your team and unhappy, or he's off your team and you didn't get fair value for his talent.
Coming in with a fat suit on.
Is James Harden body?
I'm just throwing stuff out there. What some of the funny news is on people that decide that they don't want to play anymore. I will say, One thing is for sure, Austin, don't do what Stricky did. Don't ever give money away. Like I would advise that you don't take the Ben Simmons route. You don't take you go in there and cheer you guys on, be the best teammate that you can be, but don't ever give money away. So whatever that means. And I think an attorney or something, he needs somebody to help to fine tune these negotiations on his behalf, because there could be just a little something that maybe the team doesn't tell you. There's things that the teams don't tell you about, ways in which they can negotiate, things in which they could offer, things in which they could do to kind of, mitigate the difference that we have. But someone who's versed in that area, an attorney or something, can help with that. Now, I'm not saying that he doesn't have one, but it says is the negotiations going pretty much the way he wants. And then of course he don't want to pay 3, 6, 5%, on the money. If you feel that you're that type of guy, you're a max type of guy, you want the whole 40 million or whatever, right? So that's understandable.
Travis, appreciate the questions and for texting. And if you have any thoughts on this, 402-464-5685. Strick, we turn our attention now to the Big Ten all-conference teams that were named today on the men's side. Congratulations go out, first of all, to Derek Walker, named second team All-Big Ten by the coaches, left off of the media's teams entirely. He's an honorable mention by the media. Again, still an honor, still named, but a second team All-Big Ten selection by the coaches. I think the coaches got that one.
The
right.
coaches get it because they have to face it. They have to scheme for it. They have to prepare for it. Media don't like it because it ain't sexy. Derek Walker is just a hard-nosed guy, goes in, gets in the trenches, battles out, finishes, gets the job done, and goes home at night. He's not sexy. So, yeah, of course, media is going to like, the Trace Jackson Davis, flashy, strong, physical. When he drives, there's some flair to it a little bit, right? That's the difference. And that's the sad thing about media eyes. But those who be around the game, they know. And so shout out to the coaches getting it right.
And Derek Walker didn't have a first team All Big Ten type of season, but given how important he was to Nebraska, that's a second team player. Plain and simple has to be. The other one that's interesting, Keisei Tominaga gets honorable mention by both the coaches and the media. Imagine saying that at the beginning of the year. Keisei Tominaga is your 6th guy, 7th guy, 8th guy some nights. And here we are in early March, and he's an honorable mention All Big Ten player. Had he done this all season, maybe he gets into third team, maybe fringe second team conversation. But the fact that we're even talking about Keisei Tominaga as an All Big Ten player is, number one, a testament to him and the work he put in, to Fred Hoiberg and the coaching staff, the guys around him for helping get him set up, and really just how much Keisei took the Big Ten by storm there for a few weeks.
Yeah, proud of Keisei because he kept his head to the millstone and just kept, grinding it out. I will say that I hope he comes back. I will say that a little birdie told me through the grapevine that European nationals or non-American nationals can in some way find NIL opportunities. Glad to hear that, because that's going to make it a little bit more plausible for an opportunity to get Keisei back. I think if he comes back, kind of being that guy, that go-to guy, I think he can make a push for himself to get into first or second team considerations, which would help his draft stock potentially.
Say he averages 15 points, 4 assists a game, shoots 40% from 3. Where does that land him in next year's All Big Ten, do you think?
I think I'd have to see who the guards are, because it's going to depend on, kind of where you see him. I think Keisei is considered a combo, because of his ability to shoot and cut and come off screens and set guys up. I want to see him handle the ball more. I really do. I want to see him be able to really take a guy down, set him up, jab him to the baseline, come off a pick and roll. Oh, you hanging? Pop you. Come pick, hesitate. Oh, cross to the middle, drop you off. I want to see Casey in that mode. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want to see him with catch and shoot, catch and cut, catch, pass, cut. I want to see him handle, and that will tell me a lot more about whether or not I think he could find himself in first team discussions.
Player of the year, Zach Edey, makes sense.
Makes sense.
Trace Jackson Davis, I believe, ended up second. Also makes sense. But the way Edey started the season, it was almost impossible to catch him.
Yeah, and remain the top 10 team in the country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that just is one of those things, unfortunately.
Yep. Co-defensive players of the year, Chase Audige from Northwestern, great on-ball defender, a lot of steals, and Caleb McConnell of Rutgers, kind of a do-it-all, switch it for the best defense in the league. Makes sense.
Makes sense. Those make sense.
Freshman of the year, Jalen Hood-Schifino. Strick, there wasn't a lot of competition on that front. There haven't been a lot of standout freshmen. Purdue had a couple guards that have started pretty much all year, but they've really tailed off. Schifino's kind of the opposite. He's really picked it up as of late.
I would have liked to see Jamarcus if he could have had a full campaign.
Maybe if there's a freshman team. Yeah. Now there is an all-freshman team. He doesn't make that. The all-freshman team, Hood Schifino, Jet Howard of Michigan. Bryce Sensabaugh of Ohio State.
That's politics, but go ahead.
Yeah. Braden Smith and Connor Esijan of Wisconsin. That's the one.
Okay.
Whatever. So those are your Husker Award winners. Also, Sam Griesel gets the sportsmanship nod. Good for Sam. Coach of the year, Chris Collins. Your thoughts on that one at Northwestern?
I'm not. I don't feel too bad about that. I think he did a tremendous job. He had a veteran laden, good guard play, and although he had some ups and downs, he was able to keep that crew in order and get them to where they need to go. I'm not too disappointed about that. I think there was just so much inconsistency throughout, up and down. Iowa would go from 9th to 2nd to 6th. Rutgers would go from 2nd to 3rd, down to 10, back up. You had a lot of those, but I would say they were probably outside of Rutgers, Indiana late. They were kind of the most consistent group, I think, of kind of when they kind of started climbing up the ladder, kind of got there. You have your typical losses that you would have, but they didn't have just these tail offs of play. Won some tough ones too.
Yeah, but I think Collins makes sense because Northwestern was picked to play on Wednesday in the Big Ten tournament, and they're up there at the number 2 seed. Had they lost to Rutgers, they would have been the 9, which is the wildest turn of events I would have seen. But they end up winning. They get the 2. So I think in the very traditional sense, yes, Chris Collins gets that award.
How about them Huskers knocking off Iowa, who would have landed the 2 seed?
Love to see it.
How you like me now is what Kumo D would say.
Them apples are particularly sweet in Nebraska, particularly sour over in Iowa.
Boy.
The other 2 options to me for coach of the year would have been Matt Painter. Purdue was picked, I believe, 6th in the Big Ten preseason poll. Started the season unranked.
He's like the Cowboys to me. He loses me every time he gets in the tournament. But go ahead, finish your thought on him.
And then the 2 others would have been Mike Woodson
and Fred Hoiberg.
Yep.
I would have to have Fred Hoiberg in.
I'd have Fred ahead of Woodson.
I would too. If you just look at what he's had to do, obviously they're going to say wins, losses. They always throw that part into it. But when you're talking about really coach of the year,
the job Fred did with what he was dealt,
that's like winning the world championship of poker, and you did it with a 2-2, 2-2, a 10, a 9, and an ace, and you bluffed, and you got them to push your hand in. That's kind of what it looked like to me, Fred Hoiberg. That's the hand Fred Hoiberg has been dealt. You've got 2 deuces and some garbage. 2 deuces and some garbage, and you winning the hand on a bluff. That's what it is to me.
Maybe that should be our exercise next week, is comparing Nebraska players to cards.
Ooh.
Who's the ace? Who's the king? Who's the queen?
Ooh.
Jack. Maybe that's an exercise for another time.
All right, I like it. Sauter Heyman text line. Get ready. It's going to be coming. We're going to do a Husker card. We already got them called the Hellcat Huskers.
Jay was off on that again yesterday.
Oh,
that's his thing now. He's claiming that.
He's claiming it.
He won it on a T-shirt too, and he wants some kickback from it.
Oh well, shoot. Put it together. LLC it.
Guess we'll have to see. We'll also have to see who calls in for Shootout with Strick. Didn't play yesterday. Let's get someone to call in today. Your chance for $15 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Call now, 402-464-5685. The Honda of Lincoln hotline. Play Strick in trivia. And then the 3 o'clock hour, we're going to get into conference tournaments. The Power 6, Gonzaga St. Mary's tonight, the championship out west. National Player of the Year, National Coach of the Year, stuff like that. Before we hear from Steve Sipple, you're on Early Break with Sip and Jake. He also writes for On 3. So a busy last bit of the show coming up, but on the other side, we got the Shootout with Strick.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month. Gigantic event. The lots are starting to put some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra light duty and new Silverado light duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel. So do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck. So stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with approved credit.
Max 10 for men. Bye-bye golfer lines and t-shirt 10s. Take it to the max. Max 10. Just $5 with stand-ups and laydowns for men of stature. Be a Max 10 man. Get 30 days for just $25 now at all 4 Lincoln Max 10 locations.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair, toner, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If you are a love addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Hey, it's Chad with Nutrition Authority talking about Cleansing Lean. Cleansing Lean helps eliminate that dreaded bloat and water retention that many of us deal with on a day-to-day basis. Cleansing Lean is a great way to jumpstart any weight loss program. Cleansing Lean is only available at Nutrition Authority. Stop in or for store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Mostly cloudy and cool today with a high of around 42. East-northeast winds at around 10 to 15. We may see a few sprinkles or light rain showers this evening. Lows tonight should drop off to around 34. And nearly a repeat performance tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high of 41. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game.
Get it going. We've got James on the Lincoln Hotline ready to take on Strick. James, are you with us?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. You sound like you're fired up, ready to go. Strick, you had an off day yesterday. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling kind of mentally mush mind, but a lot going on. But I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight the good fight.
All right. We'll see if the stricken is given away or not. We'll start with you here, Strick. Round one of the shootout comes your way here in 3, 2, and 1. They climbed to number 2 in the men's AP poll this week. Kansas or UCLA?
UCLA.
Yep. They rose the most spots from last week. Xavier or Texas A&M?
A&M.
Yep. They're the highest ranked ACC team. Virginia or Miami?
Miami.
Nope, it's Virginia.
What?
They remain at number 8 this week. Arizona or Gonzaga?
Arizona.
Nope, it's the Zags. And they're the only ranked Mountain West team.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Utah.
Utah's not a Mountain West team.
They're freaking 8. Who? San Diego.
Utah State. San Diego State.
Oh, I knew it was San Diego. Oh,
that's a no.
Freaking trying to tag Rico.
You're there. You're
I would
ready.
have got it. I would have got it wrong anyway.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
My goodness.
All right, James, you need 2 to tie. You need 3 to win. Do you like that number?
Oh, yeah.
All right, your round of the shootout comes your way here in 3, 2, and 1. They entered the rankings at number 21 this week. Duke or Creighton?
Creighton.
Nope, it's Duke. They fell the most spots from last week. Baylor or Tennessee?
Baylor.
Nope, it's Tennessee. They're the highest ranked Big East team. Marquette or UConn?
Marquette.
Yep, they remain at number 23 this week. TCU or Kentucky?
TCU.
Nope, it's Kentucky. And they're ranked number 1.
10, 9, 8,
Kansas.
7.
Oh!
The guess is Kansas. It is incorrect.
Oh!
Houston Cougars remain at number 1.
Stricky won that? No way.
James, thanks for playing. You still have your chance to win the chicken, but right now it's caller number 3's turn. 402-464-5685. Caller number 3 gets the $15 Buffalo Wings and Rings. Strick, this is March. You survive, you advance.
It feels like the Huskers when they freaking gave up 20 rebounds and still freaking 20 offensive rebounds and still freaking won the game. There's no way I thought I was going to win. I thought James had me by the bull horns.
He was confident too.
Whew.
He liked the number. It was that.
Wait, you saw I was sitting back? Huh?
Oh.
What?
Oh. That's a win.
Ooh, that's a win for Stricky. I can't
One in a
believe
row.
I pulled that off. Wow.
You got it. Back on the winning side. Here's the
No, I won
tiebreaker.
yesterday. Forfeit.
No, we did not count those as wins. Not under the new regime.
You don't show up, you get the L. Stricky win. No, that's not fair.
The tiebreaker question would have been, teams ranked in this week's poll lost 8 games last week by how many combined points?
12.
86.
What?
Top 25 teams last week.
They got their butts handed to them.
Handed to them.
That's what I'm telling you guys. Mark your brackets at your own risk, because this is going to be a March Madness. Oh, did that rhyme? Yes,
you're on one, Strick.
I'm on today, bro. Mark your brackets at your own risk. This is going to be a March Madness that you can't resist.
There you have it. That mic is dropped. We got nothing more to add. On the Block, Hour 2 comes your way next.
Hot.
March is a month of good luck. From epic run state basketball to Cinderella, spring the upset in college basketball. And of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen's.
Quality vehicles.
It's not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem, finding consequences. If your loved one is struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment 50 years line. At Action.
The Empire brand is growing with ESC fabrication and sandblasting. ESC is your place for custom handrails, industrial and commercial painting, and more. ESC provides custom welding for aluminum and stainless steel and media blasting of all sorts. ESC has great attention to detail. They stay on budget. If you dream it, they can make it. Contact ESC Fabrication and Sandblasting in Waverly today at 531-207-9329.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, range of. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado has the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS place your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 488-934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Shopping for insurance can be a frustrating and tedious task. Brokers Insurance Agency in Lincoln has a full staff of licensed professional agents who will do the work. All Brokers utilizes over 20 insurance companies to save their clients money. Brokers Insurance Agency will always do what is in the client's best interest and will find the best program to fit your needs. Call Brokers Insurance Agency today at 402-420-5353 to get a quote to insuranceNE.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks right now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck. So stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with approved credit.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. The Ticket Water Cooler with Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
I do know the halftime entertainment.
Oh, the halftime. That's right. Red Panda's in town. Yeah. The best halftime performer in the nation. The guy that stands on chairs.
That one terrifies me.
That one I don't like.
That one scares me.
I remember at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, for some reason it was just always kids getting in overdressed like Husker stuff and racing down the court. Like that was the go-to. That's all they really had. So what's funny than kids in oversized clothing? That's
Perfect.
Hilarious every time. Let's do it again.
This is On the Block with Stricken Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. You're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Stricken Austin. Hold up.
2 on the block coming your way here on Tuesday. Last time you'll be able to catch us in this time slot for the week as you've got the boys state basketball tournament tipping off at 9 o'clock tomorrow. And then that'll carry you through our time slot Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Make sure you stay tuned in to the boys state tournament right here. Every game that's at Pinnacle Bank Arena will be on these airwaves.
Yes, 937 The Ticket will be handling business. And listen, if you want to listen to great play-by-play, Nick Sainert and Carter, they do a wonderful job of handling play-by-play stuff. So you'll get all the information, the details that are as if you were sitting there in the arena. If you don't get an opportunity to go down there to Pinnacle Bank.
If you are going down to Pinnacle Bank, though, make sure you stop by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul first. It'll be open through state tournament time. If you're in town, you should already know about it. Stop by, get it again. If you're out of town, you can't leave town without getting it.
I would advise catch it on the way out and wait till you get home if you have a long drive, or wait till you get back to the hotel because it's that good. Sit on your stomach and make you feel like you want to go to sleep.
Yep.
It's really good, bro. It's really good. So get down there and check them out. Let them know that we down here at On the Block sent you.
Please do. Some sad news to pass along. Thanks to Scott on the text line for at least making me aware of this. Andre Smith, former Husker basketball player, recently passed away. He was the 1980-81 Big 8 Conference Player of the Year, 4th highest career score in Husker history. That's a blow to the Husker community, Strick.
Yeah. I know Dre. We got a chance to hang out some, and he was fighting this thing. And, you know, some great people around Husker basketball was really trying to, you know, get him to, he's a prideful man, you know, he's one of those guys strong to the end. And you know, he was fighting, I think he was fighting cancer, if I'm correct, initially, and then ended up having a stroke. And yeah, you just hate that, you know, especially for the family, the Husker family. Shout out to his family, you know, friends. He's going to be missed. He's going to be missed. Solid player, man. He was strong. He's probably one of the most physical guys that, you know, got inside and banged it out. Mm-hmm. And, you know, peace to the brother.
Absolutely. Also on the text line, before we get back into conference tournament, Strick, someone asked, what's your Class A bracket look like? I have it pulled up and I can give you the matchups.
Meaning, who do I think's going to win? Is that a question?
I mean, it shouldn't be a question, but maybe this is the first time listener.
It's Flock Squad, baby. You know how we do it, Bellevue West. We get down there and handle business, baby. No, I don't know. It's going to be tough. I mean, B West has got to come to play. It's theirs to lose. Let me just say that. Mm-hmm. You know, they're a very dominant team. They are scrappy. They get after you defensively. They're going to run you. Shot clock helps this team tremendously because they're never really out of a game with the style of play that they play. So, you know, a double-digit lead at any point is not out of the realm for them to get back into it or to, you know, blow you out of the gym. So they're going to be tough. You know, keep your eyes out on West Side.
West Side's in that 4-5 with East.
Yeah, keep your eyes on them.
The other two matchups then are Millard North, Elkhorn South, and Gretna, Lincoln Southeast.
You know, see, I don't think Millard North is the same, but I mean, you know,
It's a program that's been there.
It's a program that's been there. That's not going to scare them to, get in a rat race with anybody. Could see some new teams emerge. Who else is in there?
So then you have the 3-6 matchup is Gretna versus Southeast.
Yeah, so you got Gretna. Southeast has been around. Great friend of mine, coached at Southeast for a while. I don't think Schmidt's still there. I think he left the game. But Coach Jeff Smith, and I told you the story about Jeff Smith, and I probably would have quit basketball if it wasn't for him. But yeah, Southeast is they come and go. Let me just say that that's one of those teams that they kind of find their way in and they find their way out. I mean, I think a team that we haven't seen in a while is like Lincoln East, where they usually kind of would be up there. How's Lincoln High men?
Not in the state tournament.
Yeah.
The women made a heck of a run of it in Class A.
Women made a nice run, made a shot, got a shot at it, just came up short. Them girls, I watched them play, and it was a tremendous game. I mean, it was back and forth. It was scrappy. It was testy. Miller North, they
South won that one.
I mean, Miller South. I'm sorry, Miller South. Oh my gosh, they have some killers. They have women that can shoot that thing. You leave them any space, it's buckets. And they got it done. I watched that whole game. Actually, I called it. It was good. It was a fun game to call.
Absolutely. So again, more state tournament action tips off at 9:00 tomorrow, right here on these very airwaves, theticketfm.com as well. All right, Strick, taking a look at some conference tournaments around college basketball. Let's start in the Big Ten. Who do you like to come out of this tournament? Who you like as the winner, and who's your dark horse in that one?
So in the Big Ten, obviously, you gotta kind of keep your eyes on Purdue. Purdue is probably the favorite. I think the team that can give them a run would be Indiana, who has already done it twice. The thing about doing it twice to a team, it's always tough to do it a third time. The thing is that physicality wise, they match up with them probably the best outside of maybe Wisconsin or Michigan, but then there's just so many inconsistencies with that. I think my dark horse is going to be probably Northwestern, just because of guard play. It could be Northwestern or Michigan State. Those two, I would put 1A, 1B as far as dark horses. If you have great guard play, you can win games, and I think they have it.
According to Ken Pom, Purdue's the favorite. Makes sense. They have a 32.3% chance of winning it, according to Ken Pom. Number 2 is who you said, Indiana. Exact same odds as Indiana's Michigan State.
Yeah.
I like that. They're playing better. I mean, minus that collapse at Iowa, Michigan State is playing better. And again, you don't bet against Izzo. You don't bet against the guards. Any guess who the 4th highest odds in the Big Ten belong to? The 4th best chances to win the tournament, according to Ken Pom.
Illinois?
Maryland.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Maryland at an 11.7% chance. Behind them, Northwestern 8.5, Illinois 6.2, and Iowa at 4.7.
That's interesting. That's a surprise for me, but
I don't know if
I'm trying to see if I can how I can view that, but
I don't know if I trust Maryland at a neutral site as much. I mean, I know it's not pure road, but it's also not pure home. So I don't feel comfortable giving Maryland that high of odds for no other reason than they might have to play Nebraska. If Nebraska gets past Minnesota tomorrow, we know those two teams are going to have a good game between Nebraska and Maryland. The way the Huskers are playing, Maryland could be out in the quarters.
I agree. I think it's a good matchup. That's a good matchup for the Huskers. Maryland is, especially for their defensive style. It's a good matchup for them.
Which conference do you want to go to next?
Let's go to the Big 12.
Big 12 next it is. All right. The 1 seed in the Big 12, surprise, surprise, Kansas. The 2 is Texas. Kansas State gets the 3, Baylor the 4. Who do you like out of the Big 12 straight?
Being that Keontae George is dealing with some ankle injuries, so there's been some inconsistency with their guard play at Baylor. I think Kansas has got to be the favorite for me there as well. They've won it. They're the reigning champions, and until you beat the champion, I say, they're it. Now, I would say be wary of like an Iowa State.
Iowa State got the 5.
I'd say be wary of them.
So again, according to Ken Palm, Kansas is the favorite, 25.7% chance. Texas, the number 2 seed, has the second highest odds. I'm out on Texas. I don't think they won it bad enough. Again, now that I'm down there, now that I read it, but every time I watch Texas play, they're kind of like Illinois to me, where they should be that good every night. They're just not. They're so inconsistent. I don't give Texas more than about a 1 in 10 chance of winning the Big 12 tournament.
I'm not feeling it. Yeah, they don't do it for me. They don't. Yes, they win, but they don't have the eye test that I feel makes me feel confident in them.
The lowest odds in the Big 12 belong to Texas Tech, which to some degree makes sense given everything going on down there in Lubbock.
Yeah.
That's a bad run for Texas Tech. I mean, in terms of on-court success, they've had it, but their past 2 coaches and what's gone down in Lubbock Strick, that is an absolute mess.
Yeah. Now you've lost your head coach. Could be some internal disarray. Yeah, I can see that being the tail end of that.
Let's do the SEC next. How about that?
Cool.
The 1 seed is Alabama. Texas A&M snags the 2. Kentucky, after all we were doing for writing them off back in January, they get the 3. The 4 is Missouri. Do you like one of those 4? Is there a dark horse in the SEC to you?
I like the way that sets. Alabama's been able to get through some obvious adversities there. But I would say that they've been the most consistent, in the way that they played the game on both sides of the ball. I think Tennessee's defense, which is number 1, I think, or close to it in the country, that gives them a shot. They've also beaten Alabama. So you got to look at that as a possibility. So I would say Tennessee's my dark horse to win it.
They get the 5.
You normally would want to go down, but I would say, just watch out for like a Texas A&M. Just watch out. They're just kind of sneaky to me. Good guard play for them too.
I know defense travels. Tennessee's offensive ceiling though is so low.
So low.
They lost to Kai Ziegler to an ACL tear, and Strick, they've put up 40 points multiple times this year.
Yeah.
I cannot trust Tennessee. I straight up can't do it. I also am going to say watch out for Vanderbilt. Stackhouse has something going down there. They beat Kentucky twice already this season, did it at home and on the road.
Taking on the persona of the coach.
Yep, and that's your potential 3-6 matchup right there.
Wow.
Again, Kentucky should be better than Vanderbilt, but maybe it's one of those sports juju things that Vanderbilt just has Kentucky's number this year. I know my Kentucky friends don't want to see Vandy again.
Yeah. I Stack is my guy, man. He's just one of those type of guys that, well, there's 2 parts to that. One, you just don't look at Stack and see Stack being in like a Vanderbilt type of play, right? You could see Stack being at like, maybe Syracuse or NC State or just a gritty spot.
But not Vandy.
I could see him being at Xavier,
DePaul,
Cincy, just one of those type of. I just Vandy. You say Vandy Stack, and I just be like, dang, you forget Stack is in Vandy, right? That would be like him going into ACC. He does some great work. That'd be like him going into ACC, being from Carolina, but coaching at Wake Forest. That's kind of the equivalent of what he is. That's what it's like to me. Like, because Chris Paul, smooth, silky, drop you, work you, big fundamental. That's what you think about Wake Forest. It's solid, right?
That's not Jerry Stackhouse.
That's not Stack. Stack in your face, gritty, grimy. You can see him at like Rutgers, St. John's, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. But that throws me off every time I hear it.
I know we talk about, fit for a head coach in the institution that he works at a lot. It's kind of a buzzword. Sometimes though, you need someone who doesn't seem like a fit. You have that Vandy reputation. To get someone like Jerry Stackhouse in there to change that culture, he's done some good work. Maybe that's what they needed.
Yeah, he's a good coach. I mean, he's won multiple titles in the G League, and it's good to see him come down and work in college and get with some of these young fellas and help them to aspire for the next level. I like it. I like him in college.
Absolutely. The Big East tournament. Your 1 seed is Marquette. The 2 is Xavier. But Strick, according to KenPom, neither of those teams have the best odds to win the conference tournament. The best odds go to the 4 seed in UConn, and then Creighton is the 3 seed. Are the odds-on favorites?
Creighton obviously has been up and down, topsy-turvy. They had a 6-game losing streak in the middle of the year. They've been at points without Ryan Kalkbrenner. But I'm going to say that Xavier to me is a scary proposition, but I just don't think that they can get over the hump. I think Creighton
with Fremantle out, that's a problem. It's good for them.
Yeah, I think Creighton finds a way, man, just to kind of get that done. I mean, I think the only one that can challenge them is Villanova. Villanova, maybe, but unfortunately, I just don't know. Yeah, this one's a tough one for me. Sartor Heyman text line, help me in the Big East. This is a tough one for me. I'm struggling with that one.
I hope we get a Marquette UConn semifinal because that would be all the points. It would be very fun for me to watch that game. I don't know if either DePaul or Seton Hall can take down Xavier. Creighton Nova would be a fun quarterfinal matchup. I hope Nova would be able to muddy that game up enough, but I've been really disappointed in Villanova. I mean, they've never been, the most talented team. Obviously, they had plenty when they won those 2 national championships, but it's been so much more about culture and institution than it has about talent. And even accounting for that, the talent at Villanova this year has not been the same.
Yeah. I can't vouch for Villanova. It's unfortunate. They've always been a great program, usually have great leadership, great guard play. Just they're not doing it for me right now.
You think Patrick Ewing makes it to next season for Georgetown?
I don't think so.
Don't think so? No. Too bad.
Yeah.
Moving on then let's do the Pac-12. Your 2 heavy favorites. The only people with double-digit odds to win this are UCLA and Arizona. You think it comes down to those 2?
I think it's going to come down to those 2, and at that point, you can go either way. UCLA lost to Arizona once already, and then
it made up for it.
They made up for it at the end, and they followed it up with an ugly loss to USC. So I think it can go either way, but I actually do think that UCLA is probably the hotter team. They had a lot of their mismatches early on. Jaime is phenomenal as far as his play and his resume and what he's putting together down there. I just think UCLA ultimately would be the one that's going to win out.
UCLA did lose Jalen Clark, who's one of the better defenders in the country, but I still think Mick Cronin's done an awesome job down there in Westwood. Again, speaking of fit, Mick Cronin didn't seem like a fit for Los Angeles, but he's done some really solid work down there.
Yeah, it's working out for them.
To the ACC then, Strick, this is one that kind of freaks me out a little bit as a Duke fan. Duke has the highest odds or the best odds to win the ACC tournament. I don't know how much I like that, but as a Duke fan, I don't hate their path. They'll play probably Pitt in the quarterfinals, who Duke did beat. They are on the same side of the bracket as Miami, who would have to get past the winner of the 8-9 matchup. I still write off Virginia every year, and they're right up there as the 2 seed. I would have to put my money on Virginia.
I think I'd have to agree with you, although Tony Bennett and the Cavaliers have been on a roller coaster ride of emotions as far as wins and losses and ups and downs and inside outs and round you turn me's. But I think they're the most suitable contender. I have no belief in Duke. As far as the talent wise, North Carolina has that. They are capable, but are they willing to put in the time, the work, the effort, the extra that it's going to take? I think they started smelling themselves a little bit too much after, the run they made last year, and just haven't been able to get that mojo back.
Never found a way to get it back, which that surprises me. You can understand that maybe early in the season for a team like Carolina, even though they did have, like you said, 4 of the 5 starters from that team coming back. They're an older team. You would think they'd be able to brush it off. They haven't been able to, and that's almost I mean, that is shocking to me. I don't know even what to compare that situation to.
Yeah. There's nothing really you can. There's no way to really address it. I feel bad for Hubert. Hubert was my teammate in Dallas. I thought he would have got him right. I mean,
what was Hubert like as a player?
Hubert was very quiet, mild-mannered, kept to himself, worked hard. We always did extra shooting games after. Just went about his business. No nonsense. Just I probably seen more emotion out of it. Excuse me. He was a pretty emotional player when he was in New York. But yeah, he's kind of just one of those even kill type of guys.
Do you think Carolina could have used a little more emotion out of him, or do you think that him being steady is what the team needed?
I think there's a way to find a balance.
Sure.
And if you find a good balance of it, it can work for you. But yeah, I think just figuring out how to get all those egos in order was the part that he needed to do.
Last but not least, we turn our attention out west to the West Coast Conference. The matchup I think everyone could have predicted in Gonzaga against St. Mary's. Basically what it comes down to every year. Ken Palm's odds had St. Mary's with a 45.7% chance to win, Gonzaga with a 44.5% chance to win. Again, these two teams split the regular season meetings. They both won at home. Took St. Mary's overtime to do it the first time. Gonzaga got revenge then in the kennel. This is the 1-2 matchup. They're the class of the WCC. Who gets the grudge match?
Well, I think the Zags, being that they're probably the most battle-tested of the group, they've played one of the toughest non-conference schedules that is out there throughout the year. They have veteran leadership. They have All-American Drew Timme on the inside, so you can work inside out with that team. Drew Timme gets buckets. He's probably one of the best or most efficient scorers internally. Can step out and do things. So he's a he's a mismatch problem for anybody. I just think on a neutral site, I think they're going to be able to tap in and get the Gales.
Give me the Gales tonight.
You rolling with the Gales?
I'm rolling with the Gales. Gonzaga's probably more talented, but I want St. Mary's to win. So I'm pulling for St. Mary's. They've proven they can beat Gonzaga, and that defense is just so good. Aiden Mahaney, that's a name to watch out for. One last thing then, Strick, before we hit break, before we go to Steve Sipple, talk some Husker football. National Player of the Year on the men's side. To me, it comes down to a couple guys, Jalen Wilson of Kansas and Zach Edey of Purdue. Again, I think Edey had the early storylines, but both of these guys won their conference players of the year. Trace Jackson Davis also up for the award. Chris Murray up for the award from Iowa. Jalen Pickett still in the running. Maybe Drew Timme, but again, I still think it comes down to Wilson and Edey for that one.
Yeah, and then I'm going to give the edge to Edey. Edey, I think, is I don't want to say unfortunate, but he's averaged 21 points a game, 13 rebounds, 2.3 blocks in the regular season as the champion of the Big Ten. He shoots 61% from the field and 72. His numbers are just solid,
off the charts.
His numbers are just solid across the board, and I think that's just tough to break. They never broke out of the top 5. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe they hit 6 at one point, but I don't think so. I think
top 10 all year at least.
Oh, definitely top 10. So I just think that his consistency throughout is one thing that I'm just going to bank on. I think he ends up winning it.
Breaking news from the NFL again. Daniel Jones does officially sign a deal with the Giants. 4 years. Guess how many mil?
102.
160. Ooh. Daniel Jones gets $40 million a year, $82 million taken home over the first 2 years.
Oof.
I don't know about that one, Strick. I don't know about that one.
Young fella. Hey, your agent was good. Maybe Jackson needs to hire your guy.
Seriously, though.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought he would have went that high, but hey, who am I?
Congrats, Daniel Jones.
Congrats, Daniel Jones, and your agent. He did a service for you.
The 3, 5, or 6% of that is going to look very
the other
nice
way around, Austin. The other way. Normally, we would say Tom Cruise, would be telling, my guy from, the movie, show me the money.
Oh yeah, Jerry Maguire.
It's the other way around. Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones was telling him, show me the money.
And it got shown.
Show it.
Well done, Daniel Jones and his agent. We'll step aside when we get back. We got Steve Sipple of On 3, and of course here on Early Break with Sip and Jake. We'll talk some Husker football with Sip after this.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job. Right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and insurance are offered at no minimum cost. With bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system moves the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you running. At Landmark, we save money uptime with our after and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients anywhere else, open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit our website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Is hiring CDL Class B drivers. It's a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Spring sports are here, and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from them is a great way to get new products with great discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Problem gambling is not just a financial issue. It's an emotional problem with financial consequences. If you are the one struggling with addiction, contact Choices Treatment Center's 24-hour helpline at 402-476-2300. That's 402-476-2300.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and it is Truck Month at Koppel, and we are pulling out all of the stops for this gigantic event. The lots are starting to fill, and we have some great deals for you waiting in Louisville. Brand new GMC Sierra Light Duty and new Silverado Light Duty trucks. All trim levels have up to $4,000 in discounts. That's right, up to $4,000 off all new light duty trucks trucks right now at Koppel, so do not wait. Now is the time to buy a new truck. So stop on in or visit us online at koppelcars.com. You must have a trade-in and finance with Koppel. All deals with Roof Credit.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto, 70th and God bless you.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Or pizza, the big one. All the time.
You sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. Your best friend. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Bottom of hour 2 here on The Block. I'm Austin Norman. He's Eric Strickland. We go now to the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Welcome in one of our own, Steve Sipple of Early Break with Sip and Jake. Steve, how you doing this afternoon?
Good. Fellas, how are you guys doing?
Sip! Always good to hear from you, my friend. Thank you for tapping in.
Good to hear from you too, Strick.
Steve, let's start with Husker basketball. They get a big win over Iowa on Sunday. Didn't look like they were going to pull it out for a while with the offensive rebounds and the turnovers. They find a way to do it. Yet, despite that, they're still playing on Wednesday in the Big Ten tournament. They get Minnesota. Should they win that, they get Maryland. Win that one, they get Indiana. I really don't hate that path for a team that's playing some good basketball right now.
No, I like the first two. Indiana sitting there on Friday would be difficult because Indiana has a double bye, obviously. But no, I like the path. Nebraska kind of earned this, I think. I do, of course, you like Nebraska to beat Minnesota. There's always a level of trepidation you have on a neutral floor and all that, and you got to beat them 3 times. But I don't have much trepidation. I think they'll handle Minnesota fairly easily. Nebraska's playing well. Mm-hmm. It's when you start getting fearful of it, it's just all about psychological mumbo jumbo. If you just look at who's better, who's playing better, it's Nebraska. So I like Nebraska. And then Maryland looks to me like a game that it just feels to me like a game that'll go to the wire, probably close. I think it'll be close. And Nebraska, the way it's configured now, I don't mind them in close games. Their chemistry's good. They stay together very well. Like the Iowa win is a good example of that. So yeah, listen, I'm keeping a really open mind on this. I do like them to get 2. And then you just got to see where it goes from there.
All Big Ten teams announced today. Derek Walker on the second team, not much of a surprise, had a good year and as Nebraska's heart and soul. A guy that played himself into contention for some of that, gets named honorable mention by both the coaches and the media, is Keisei Tominaga. What a season for him. And if you'd have told me, even back in December, let alone before the season, that Keisei Tominaga was going to be an all Big Ten caliber player, I would have looked at you cross-eyed. But here we are, Keisei Tominaga, again, a huge piece of Nebraska playing so well. And you hope he comes back next year to build off of that. He could be, I think, a fringe, second teamer, maybe third teamer if he comes back to Nebraska next year. Do you agree?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And that conversation's going to get interesting probably within a couple weeks of the end of the season. What they usually do is have a week break, and then Fred brings guys back for individual meetings. And then, there'll be quite a discussion with Tominaga about his future here, whether he tries to play pro ball, I guess, in Japan probably, or stay here. I don't have any insight into how that'll go. I don't know if anybody does. Up in the air. But yeah, I think Keisei, if he came back, is certainly that type of player. He's proven that. Of course, I didn't see it coming because you didn't see the minutes coming. Mm-hmm. The great unknown, what you'll never know is what if Vandemel and Gary wouldn't have gone down? I mean, would have Casey gotten these sort of minutes? Probably not. So it's sort of interesting from that standpoint. But he took advantage of this opportunity in a big way, and I'd say silenced some doubters. You know, he's more than a stationary shooter now. We don't have to go all over this. We talk about it all the time. But it's, you know, he's become a player who cuts to the basket really well. He even goes off the dribble, which I never would have guessed. I didn't think he was that type of player, but he made himself into that type of player. And I got to think he's just a guy that just is an incredible work ethic in the gym. I just don't think you can develop a game like his unless you're really, really smart about your work and really work hard.
So, Sip, you know, if you're in Fred Hoiberg's shoes, I mean, you hope to finish out the season in a wonderful fashion. But then as you said, you take that time off and you start doing an assessment. What is it that if you were the coach, what are you looking for based on this team? What's going out the door? What's coming in the door? But what do you feel would be something needed in order to solidify a run to continue to move up the standings in the Big
Well,
Ten?
yeah. I mean, I have thought about it. You have to get somebody, I think somebody that's kind of like Vandemel. Get somebody in that 6'3", 6'5" range, 6'2", 6'5" range that can guard and is a capable scorer. Somebody to replace that, but I think you're going to have to go get a scoring forward. You know, I mean, Blaze Keita could be your starting center next year, but he's not going to average 14 a game. And so I think you need to go find somebody like that and a point guard. Now, those are the three things I'd look at right away. I'll just say power forward because I'm older and that's the way I think about basketball. Power forward, point guard with Greasel in mind, and then a defender, a wing defender, guard-ish defender like Vandemel. Those are the guys. I mean, you think about what you got to replace. They have a lot back. I mean, it's not like they're hurting. They have guys coming back that are really good. I mean, Jamarcus Lawrence it could be a fabulous player. Juwan Gary's going to be back. Kate is going to be back. Breidenbach's going to be back. Sam Hoiberg's back. They have a pretty nice core coming back. But man, you got to replace second team All Big Ten player in Walker. Sam Greasel's had a great run here. And Vandemel's Vandemel. Those are tough guys I just reeled off. So he's going to have to go into the portal. And what I keep saying is you got to go get impact players. I mean, you got to get impact players, guys that can come in and do what, like, for instance, Greasel has done.
You mentioned impact players. We'll flip it to football, though, as we heard from Matt Rule and a couple players, one of them Chief Borders, the other Thomas Fidone, a guy we've heard a lot about, not a guy we've heard a lot from. As you saw and listened to Thomas Fidone, what did you take away from how he looked, his size, but also what he was saying and his mindset over the last couple of years that have been, without a doubt, pretty tough for him?
Well, it's hard to ignore what he said in terms of, saying he thinks he can be a first or second round pick and be the best tight end in college football. It's confidence. He's confident. He should be confident. And then, it's not just, I don't think it's false. And it doesn't bother me. I know there's kind of the old school guys are just shut up and do it. It's not the way kids are built this day and age. And I don't mind him coming out and saying that stuff. If you watch him work out, come on. This is exactly what you want him to look like. He's a big time athlete. I can see why he carries himself with that sort of confidence. So that was my biggest takeaway. I just kind of was impressed with the whole picture, really. I liked how well he did, how the importance he placed on that leadership role he played in winter conditioning, leading that 12-man team of his and, to a first place in that kind of competition that's set up by Matt Rule and Ed Foley. So I just like the whole picture. I like the whole picture of having a post-winter conditioning press conference. I think fans like that stuff. We got to meet Chief Borders and then hear from the head coach. So, yeah, I just like the whole picture.
What did you take away from Chief Borders? That's a name that, again, we've heard from the transfer portal, don't know what role he's going to play. How is he in front of the media? What did he have to say? What did you take away from it?
I was interested because I heard right away that when he came in that he and MJ Sherman have big personalities. And there he comes. Here he walks in the room with a big smile. I mean, he's really, really comfortable in that sort of setting, which is striking. Those guys were both comfortable in that setting, which to me is impressive because they're just young guys. I mean, they're talking 18-year-old guys, 19-year-old guys. Maybe Chief is 20, but even so, he commanded the room. Clearly likes being here, likes college football. Now, all that's good and personality counts for something. You want to see if he can get to the quarterback. So that's what I'm mostly interested in.
You mentioned, big personalities and fit. It seems to fit in with the head coach, Matt Rule, who also spoke. And the thing that stood out to me from what Matt Rule had to say was that he got the feeling that there's a lot of buy-in very quickly from the team. When you have a big personality like that, I think of someone in Nebraska's own division in PJ Fleck, where it's love him or hate him. What do you think the team thinks about Matt Rule? How do you think his message has been received? And what does that portend for this installation here to spring ball?
Seems like his message is being received well. I mean, with enthusiasm. You don't see a lot of guys leaving yet, and I don't know that there will be. I think he's fair. I know he's demanding. I mean, Matt Rule is he's a very demanding coach. So it's not a given that everybody's just gonna, I guarantee it's not easy over there right now. But just the fact that he said that one of the starters, I mean, he didn't identify it, he said Mr. Irrelevant, which indicates that one of the starters isn't having a great winter in some ways. Just the fact that he was just volunteered that there was a guy struggling, and by the way, he was a starter last year. I mean, that tells you that he's asking a lot from these guys. I know he is. I mean, you probably hear the kind of stuff I do. It's not easy. This is not an easy period for those guys. Nor should it be. And it's not. Listen, this isn't unique to Nebraska. Winter conditioning all over America is difficult. But I like what I hear from Rule a lot. I love the CEO element of Matt Rule. He's in a very complex job. It's a very complex job to run a program like Nebraska's. It takes a high level of sophistication, and they got a guy that's very capable of that.
You mentioned that CEO role. That's something else that stood out to me that Matt Rule said is when he looked at the offseason competition that Ed Foley was the one running that. Ed Foley will be the special teams coordinator. Given that it was Matt Rule's first offseason here, I would have thought Matt Rule would have been the one running it and in charge of it. And, he's the head coach. He signs off on it. He watches the film, like he said. What do you make of Ed Foley being the one to run those drills and what that means for how Matt Rule will trust the rest of his staff when it comes to spring ball, fall ball in the season?
I don't know exactly how they divvied up duties there between Rule and Foley. I mean, Foley was the point keeper, and I'm sure he oversaw it. But come on, I mean, Matt Rule is heavily involved. It's about delegation. Matt's probably. I mean, Matt, as I said, that role is. I mean, I think about it. Just think about it in the context. Go read what Kirk Ferentz is doing right now, or read about what's happened in the last 2 days. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about a level of sophistication. I mean, Kirk Ferentz is so versed in the legal element of what's going on there. It's really impressive, but it does require a high level of sophistication. Think about Frost. Think back during COVID and what he was dealing with during COVID with the testing and the very sort of political nature of that discussion. And I just, when I think of Matt Rule, I just think of a guy that can handle all that type of stuff. I mean, that's really what I like. But let's face it, it's going to come down to, it all feels good right now, but we'll see how it all looks if they lose a couple games early. I hate to say that, but there's a reality in this discussion that you have to acknowledge, especially here where we're kind of doing this thing again where Nebraska's the king of the off season, which we're really good at around here.
We got to practice at it. We do it off season after off season.
Really good at
so
it. We're really good at it.
Hey, stick to what you know, I guess. One last thing before we let you go. Spring break coming up next week now that we're post-winter conditioning. Do you think the roster will stay at the same number? Or do you think we could hear about maybe a departure or two or a few over the spring break week?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think I don't have any inside info on that. Austin, I know there's always the possibility, right? It doesn't sound like anything is imminent. I don't think we're going to see mass departure. So, but yeah, there might be someone that crops up. Off the top of my head, I wouldn't even want to speculate. But it just doesn't feel like that there's going to be some sort of big names or a lot of people going out right now.
Steve Sipple, early break with Sip and Jake and On 3. One more week, then we get right into spring ball. Steve, will pick your brain on that. We are looking forward to next week. Hopefully, we appreciate your time as always.
Yeah, I appreciate your time and having me on. So we'll do it again, okay?
Yes, sir. Once again, Steve Sipple with us here. We'll take a break for just a moment. When we get back, we'll have the crossover DP in the building. We had Jay and Kenny yesterday. We don't know who's going to be here, but we know it'll be a good time. You won't want to miss it. Come back with us after this.
Spring sports are here, and it's time to upgrade your equipment. But don't go rushing to your big box store. Play It Again Sports is your place to go for all spring sports equipment for baseball, softball, golf, and disc golf. Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And don't forget, buying from the great will to get products with discounts by also bringing in your used items for store credit or cash on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Baseball season is here, and your Husker baseball team wants to see you at Haymarket Park. Season tickets, diamond deals, and single game tickets are on sale now. Opening day is March 7th. Colorado. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets. The Huskers need your help kicking the home season off strong. Creighton, Omaha, and some of the best in the Big Ten coming to town. Need family plans for spring break? Come on down to Haymarket Park. For more information, go to huskers.com/tickets.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Making the right selection, the best value installed quickly. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, area rugs, we it all. 1732 O Street, family owned and operated, always the best value.
Can you believe all the empty car lots in Lincoln? How can they survive? Well, they are surviving by charging way too much and making you believe there are no cars available. Hey, this is Carl from Price Right Auto. I'm here to share full of bull stuffing. Come out to Price Right Auto, 100 vehicles at some great prices. We won't let you every one of our vehicles with our peace of mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our .com. Come see great used cars on West O Street at Price Right Auto.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. And you can check out our spaces before you visit in person with a virtual campus tour. An opportunity to see our campuses in Beatrice, Lincoln, and Milford as you learn about our programs and areas of study. There are virtual tours of our learning center. We can even take you on a personalized virtual tour. Learn more on our website, southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
Max 10 for men. Bye-bye golfer lines and t-shirt 10s. Take it to the max at Max 10. Get a 30-day pass, just $25. With stand-ups and laydowns for men of stature. Be a Max 10 man. Get 30 days for just $25. Now at all 4 Lincoln Max 10 locations.
Shopping insurance can be a frustrating and tedious task. Brokers Insurance Agency in Lincoln has a full licensed professional agents who will help you. Brokers utilizes over 20 insurance companies to save their clients money. Brokers Insurance Agency will always do what is in the client's best interest and will find the best program to fit your needs. Call Brokers Insurance Agency today at 420-5353 to get a quote today, or find us online at brokersinsurancene.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $24.11 per hour, which grows to $28.27 per hour with 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $32.76 per hour with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associate, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planting season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America. Touching lives, securing futures.
March is a month of good luck. From epic state basketball, watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball, and of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Mostly cloudy and cool today with a high of around 42. East-northeast winds of around 10 to 15. We may see a few sprinkles or light rain showers this evening. Lows tonight should drop off to around 34. And nearly a repeat performance tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high of 41. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and The Ticket FM.
On block here on a Tuesday, we got state tournament action coming your way the rest of the week. So we'll kind of be in standby mode with boys state basketball games in this time slot coming up the rest of the week. But for now, we got Kenny, we got Jay in the building. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Everything's stupendous.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Is it as good as Daniel Jones and his agent?
No.
Man, Daniel Jones right now in New York, man, he might be at the Cheetah Club making it rain.
I hope not.
I said that.
I hope he is.
I hope
said,
he is not.
You know the movie Tom Cruise and
Show Me the Money.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire, right?
Yeah.
I said the agent needs to be telling him, you need to be calling me. Yeah. So the agent should be calling Daniel Jones talking about show me the money.
Yeah, he getting that wire transfer right now.
He deserved every penny he earned.
Yes,
but Daniel Jones played good.
He did.
And he played good the year before. And you got to understand that he hasn't had no offensive line with no receivers.
Okay, so you rolling.
And Saquon was hurt.
I'm rolling with Daniel Jones.
Okay.
Because
so let's hopefully you don't have the
Now, hold on. Now, they got to continue to add stuff around them. But what I'm saying is from his body of work now, from where he started as a rookie, where he had high turnover rate, fumbles and stuff, then he's continually got better with no coaching, no support, one of the worst GM decisions of all time. Remember, Joe Judge was the head coach. Mm-hmm. He went from assistant special teams coach to head coach.
Right.
And revamped the whole offensive line. And he came in and took them to the playoffs without even a number 2 receiver. And he got it done. I think he fits what Dable's doing because Dable has
Kafka's been big for him.
Yep, and he has tangible like a I guess litmus test, which is Josh Allen, which he's periodically got Josh Allen better. Now is he on the level of Aaron Rodgers when he's rolling? No, but this is the going rate for these dudes. You got to think this is the going rate for these guys. So if you out there, you parents out there,
Let me
you out
ask
there
this
trying to
question.
play. You better get your son out there and get him in quarterback camp.
Facts. That part. Let me ask this question.
Quick.
Let me ask this question. Healthy. Jimmy G, Brock Purdy. Do you still do something like that, or do you go after one of those types?
If I'm what team?
The Giants.
No, you just got
you
him.
You good.
No,
I'm just saying. I'm saying before this has happened. The quarterback marketplace. does it change? Did this change anything?
No.
No. So
because
it was
you
set.
invested. You already invested in him.
Okay.
You've seen improvement, and it really the first 2 years is the most important.
Yeah.
So you just paid the going rate for the first 2 years because if he doesn't perform, if he takes a big dip next year,
he gets 82 the first 2 years.
Right, and that's the going rate. And actually, they got him at a bargain.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I mean, essentially, it's just because you could do the Kirk Cousins. He balls again next year, and so you ain't just paying him 41. You're gonna be playing him 61 and 68. As far as them 2 years, if he goes and have it. So you got him on a kind of prove it. Then you can always extend it after that. Jimmy G, look for the Jets to be in a play for him or the Raiders. Purdy, he's injured, and so that
just
it's
had
just
surgery,
bad timing. But San Francisco, who is essentially, I felt like they could have possibly pulled through that Philly game if they had anybody or a healthy quarterback.
Right.
I even think Josh Johnson with the week of practice would have gave them a run for their money. That fumble before half killed the whole game.
Yeah.
I think if they go into halftime down by 7, it's a different ball game. If it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. But 49ers right now are in a worse situation than those Giants. And here's why. They don't have a quarterback that they say, hang this hat on, so I'm here. Because they already said, we ain't bringing Jimmy G back. They wouldn't even have been where they're at if Jimmy G didn't play. Mind you, if Jimmy G didn't get hurt last season, he would have been gone to Cleveland. That's how Deshaun Watson, got his paper. So they're lucky he was just hanging. Okay, well, we got to keep you. We're paying you. Now take us to the playoff. They don't have a quarterback. Trey Lance, he ain't played in 2 or 3 years.
Right.
Purdy's coming off a major surgery. So do they go
on
back
the elbow?
Right.
And a 6-game sample size.
Right. And do they go back into do they do something? Now also, you got Bosa, who just won the defensive player of the year. You got to pay him before he comes to training camp. Right?
Touch.
And then you got Warner, the linebacker. Now you paid him a couple years ago. He's the third in the defensive player of the year. He got to get paid. And you just lost your defensive coordinator. So that's how guys get paid. It's all circumstantial.
Straight off the crossover.
Would you rather be San Francisco?
Straight off the crossover, Jay drops it
with the Jamal Crawford.
With the
I mean, there's a lot. When you got your old boy from Florida, they talking about him going in getting drafted in the first round. He had 17 touchdowns and 9 picks in college. That lets you know that quarterback play in the NFL is garbo. And if you don't know what garbo is, that's garbage. It's horrible.
That goes back to our age.
Right.
You had to go back to our time. Garbo.
It's just that bad.
I knew Garbo.
What?
I know Garbo.
Stop the cap.
You see me wearing it? You see me wearing one? I'm not.
It's that bad when guys can talk themselves into being drafted in the first round. Because
the greatest one was Todd
Marinovich.
The greatest steal of all time. He stole. He walked into the bank, looked at the guy, handed them the thing, all on camera, no mask. Give me your money, and walked out the bank. And then no security guard said one thing to him.
He actually did okay at USC. I just think that when his dad was like, I procreated for a quarterback and you ain't eating McDonald's or nothing.
Yeah.
You set him up for failure. It's kind of like Tony Mandrick. I mean, you talking about J.P. Lossmans and Jamarcus Russells and them type of dudes. I mean, Jamarcus Russell got paid for throwing the ball off his knees, and he wasn't even the starter.
That's crazy.
And he went number 1.
Let's take our idea. We'll be back in just a sec.
Right?
No,
Talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth. 93.7 The Ticket.
That's a defense thing. We like even numbers.
Even numbers.
We don't want 2 picks. We want 4. We don't want 3. We want 6.
Oh,
yeah, 2, 4, 6.
Everything's got to be even number.
That's right.
That's a defensive thing.
We don't take 1 quarterback out. We take 2.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, it's I mean, the biggest news is supposedly Aaron Rodgers been talking to the Jets. Now he's either doing that to really feel out the Jets, and he's got the Raiders in the back pocket with Devontae Adams, because those are the talks are happening between the best receiver in the game and him. So they talking offline because Devontae just go right to the owner and say, "Look,
I need my guy."
Yeah. He's trying to see if he wants to go to New York, or is he trying to really string Green Bay along for one more year and kind of jab it into him for drafting Jordan Love?
I'm going to be honest. If I'm ayahuasca in the dark type of guy on my final stretch,
don't say that, man, because there's a dude on the YouTube channel.
He got mad,
because Aaron Wright, he was saying we didn't know what we were talking about.
Autophagy. I'll never forget that word now.
We didn't because he's doing it to reset
the
his
whole
system.
cleanse thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all good. I'm not coming down on him.
We weren't either. You guys weren't either. You just interpreted
But he
that
still
way.
came at us.
Okay, well let me leave him alone.
Came out
I
swinging.
apologize.
He's already done got you.
I
He got him already?
No, I'm just.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
But here's what I'm saying. If I'm on my way out the door and I'm chilling, and I'm going to go out in the great good night, and I'm not going to say nothing about what I don't want my guy jumping in. I don't want to go deal with New York market.
Me neither.
That's just how I'm saying. That's just
because
that's
it's
crazy.
It wouldn't be good for Aaron Rodgers because he likes the whole court when he does his pregame or postgame and they ain't got time for you, man. They ain't got time for you to be up here showing your they ain't got time for. They will just
eat you up.
Just go to Vegas.
Yeah, just go to Vegas
because you kind of off the beaten path.
Exactly.
Even though Vegas is a huge city, it's not a big NFL city.
Exactly.
And you play on the West Coast, and you're always playing them late games, so you're a little bit out of the cycle until you start playing primetime games, and that's all you want.
That's what I'm saying.
And so
that's why it makes sense for me.
Or stay up in Green Bay.
That's just my opinion.
Or run it back one time.
I just don't think he would because he just don't have. That's probably the most frustrating thing for him is not having the weapons that he would like. At least one or two. Like he's got a couple. I mean I know our guys up there, but
you talking about
frustrated. Yeah,
Green Bay.
Yeah.
It just.
But man, if you go to the Raiders, it's set up for you to 2-year plan.
Yeah,
because you got the running back.
You got
they Jacobs.
They just franchised him.
Right.
And
you got like 3-4 receivers
Devontae.
and tight ends.
Waller when he's healthy.
And you just got to get that defense right.
Defense right.
And he can make a defense a lot better than they are.
So while we were there, real quick, please, because I know we got to get y'all to y'all show. The Raiders missed on defensive prospects and offensive prospects. They've had obviously the Ruggs situation. They had gunplay situation similar. But the NFL seems to come down a little bit harder until they finally released the John Morant situation. But they've missed on I think their last 3 or 4 first round picks.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's tough to recover from, Jay. Just y'all real quick on that.
Yeah, that's Mike Mayock. Mike Mayock went from doing the draft to the GM because he was boys with John Gruden. Because remember they picked Leatherwood. Well, here's where they made a problem. Here's where now Josh Jacobs they actually did really good because they got him late.
They got him late,
and he should have been a top 10 pick. But then they picked Leatherwood, I think, number 4, and then the defensive end is it Farrell?
So go 21, they get Leatherwood. 2020, they get Damon Arnett and Henry Ruggs.
Right. Safety.
2019, you get Jonathan Abram at 27, Josh Jacobs 24, Farrell at 4.
Right.
2018, Colton Miller. 2017, Garyon Conley. 2016, Carl Joseph. 2015, Amari Cooper. 2014, Khalil Mack.
Yeah. See,
there's a drop off.
Yeah, it's a big drop off. And the guys that as of late, when you think of safety, receiver, corner, offensive lineman, DN, a lot of guys, but a lot of guys that were second round, third round, picks or prospects, and they're spending high first round draft choices on them. It does hurt you, but they also got the Max Crosby's in that as well.
Yeah,
they made some good free agent acquisitions, but they just got to get a quarterback that they trust.
Facts.
And Aaron thinks he's him.
Really quick, does Lamar Jackson end up back in Baltimore or somewhere else?
I don't know. We're gonna cover that in the first one, man. We got to figure out. I mean, they essentially committed to you, but not.
Yeah.
They committed to you, but we looking out. They
Yo.
say, hey, we're gonna get married, but I'm gonna be in the other room.
They're handing the ring over, looking
You like this,
over
but
their
the
shoulder.
bridesmaid, you like
Yo,
this.
you know what they did? Said we're gonna give you this cubic zirconium. Now, if somebody else wants to give you a real ring, we'll actually get you a bigger ring. That's what they did.
Jeez.
They said we're gonna commit to you, but not really. And then call us back though after you get a better offer.
And you're going to get that woo, woo, woo. You have reached the number that this
Right, you're right.
That is no longer in
Right.
service.
They're gonna get that car warranty call. You know what they call? He said, "Hey, Eric, you want your extended warranty for $26,000? Get out."
There you go. That'll do it for On the Block. Old School. Kenny and Jay coming up next.
If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area, listen up. Select Plumbing gets it right the first time on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Free estimate 402-560-6197. Plus, they're hiring service plumbers. If you're in Lincoln, Waverly, or the surrounding area,